Hello, sir. I'm Harshit BN. I'm in fourth year mechanical engineering B section. Today I'm presenting on robotics in Indian industries, which is a topic for my technical seminar. Okay, so to choose between automation and robotics, we have to ask few questions such as: are any tasks in your business currently done by human workers? Are it is repetitive or boring? Are any task in your business a bottleneck or productivity? Are there physical tasks? On basis of these questions, we can decide whether we have to choose robotics or automation for our industries. First, let me tell about automation. Industrial automation is all about controlling physical processes. It involves using physical machines and control systems to automate tasks within an industrial process. And coming to robotics, robots are simply we can define robots as a programmable machines which are able to carry out a series of actions autonomously. They interact with physical world via sensors and actuators. Because they are reprogrammable, they are more flexible than single function machines. Collaborative robots, also called as cobots, are designed to carry out the task in the same way as a human would. More traditional industrial robots tend to carry out the task more efficiently than a human would, because human can make errors. If the task is very repetitive, it can be bored and it further causes errors. So can be automation can replace the manpower which is in industries. And coming to Internet of Things, which basically binds this automation and the productivity. Internet of Things is the network of physical objects or things embedded with electronic software. Sensors come into picture and network connectivity which enables these objects to interconnect for data exchange. It can generate a safety alert. In a methane gas industries, we can sense a leakage of gas, and we can get a message alert on our mobile phones or whatever it is. Then coming to basics of robotics. Basics of robotics is, first we'll look into the mechanical structure of a robot. Robot is basically fabricated with aluminum 6000 series, which is most frequently used material for robotic structure. And the workspace. Workspace is called as a reachable space by a robot end effector. There are two types of workspace: dexterous and absolute. Absolute workspace is, let me first tell about dexterous workspace. Dexterous workspace is something, the workspace which we have in mind is the end effector cannot reach every point in the space. Means it has some constraints at each joint. So it cannot reach each and every point. That is dexterous workspace. Absolute workspace is we can consider every point. Coming to the joints, there are prismatic joints, revolute joints, and spherical joints. Prismatic in the sense it is a sliding joint. Revolute is it is a revolving joint, and spherical has 3 degrees of freedom. It can either rotate about z-axis and also move in xy coordinates. End effectors or manipulators. End effects or manipulators is something which does operation on the objects. At the end, like we have there in a fourth axis, it has a prismatic joint. It can move up and down, like it can drill. So it is the end effector. It is a drilling. So we can further classify manipulators as electric, hydraulic, or pneumatic. Electric, as I said, we can use for drilling or some painting, like that. Hydraulics, we can use it to uh, provide a lift or something, or some force. So we can use hydraulic. For pneumatic, we can use it for press fits. For such cases, we can use pneumatic. Okay, coming to the power kinematics of robotics. Here we give joint angles as the input and the final position and orientation as the output. In the sense, as you can see in this diagram, we have L1 as the link length of first link, L2 as the link length of the second link. So if we give a certain degrees of angle for theta 1 and theta 2, the end effector takes the final position, that is x comma y. In the sense, if you have to calculate the final position x comma y, you have to calculate the x components and y components of both of the links. So the x component of the first link is L1 cos theta 1. The x component of the second link is L2 cos theta 1 plus theta 2. So the final x component is L1 cos theta 1 plus L2 cos theta 1 plus theta 2. Similarly, the y component is L1 sin theta 1 and L2 sin of theta 1 plus theta 2. Here in the forward kinematics, as I said, theta 1 theta 2 are the inputs. The output is x comma y. Now let's look into the inverse kinematics. Inverse kinematics, as the name suggests, it is the inverse of the forward kinematics. Here we give a final values, that is x comma y, the coordinates as the input. B, the robot decides its own orientation, that is theta 1 and theta 2. Uh, uh, we now know L1 and L2, which are the link lengths of link 1 and link 2, and we also know the final position where our objects to be placed. If I take an example like that, so we know x and y, we know L1 and L2, so we can calculate theta 1 and theta 2 by using simultaneous linear equation. So we get theta 1 and theta 2. But one thing here is, in forward kinematics, you can give theta 1 and theta 2 so that you can get a specific x comma y position. Here, if you give any x comma y, you will get multiple solutions for theta 1 and theta 2. So forward kinematics will have only one solution. The inverse kinematics will have many solutions. Coming to the history of industrial robots, history of industrial robots started way back in 1956 when George Devol and Joe Engelberger established a company called Unimation, the first industrial robot arm based upon Devol's patent. Then the Japanese came in and they began a robotic association named as JIRA, which is Japanese Robots Association, which was formally incorporated in 1973. Then first fully electric and it was microprocessor controlled industrial robot was set up in Sweden by a company known as ASEA. The robot was IRB6. It was delivered to many small scale mechanical engineering companies in southern Sweden in 1974. It had a similar arm movement like human arm. It mimicked that of human arm. Then again in Japan, Hiroshi Mikano, the University of Yamanishi, first developed the SCARA robot, which is most popular robot. The SCARA robot, which is uh, it, it, it is it is very frequently used for assembly. As it is most used in assembly type operations. Then coming to the history of industrial robots in India. In India, one of the strongest growing economics. India is the one of the strongest growing economies among the Asian emerging markets. Since 2009, so many robots had been installing in many of the industries in India. In 2017, India ranked 14 regarding the global annual supply of robots. You can see the number in thousand units, the graph which is on the right side. Way from 2007 to 2017, the graph has been gradually increasing, and the automotive industries will remain the main driver of increasing robotic installations because they are more incorporate towards repetitive tasks to produce automotives. You can either robots can help in production and also installations and assembly. In India, the automation levels are less in comparison to foreign jurisdictions. The main reason for this is uh, cost arbitrage in labor trade-off with robots is less due to the availability of cheap labor. In India, we have a population more than 1.3 billion, so the manpower is here is very cheap. You can get uh, for a specific finance, we can get more number of labor, but the robot will be very much precise and accurate in whatever it does. The humans get deviated when they are doing a repetitive task, so robots are more suitable for this kind of operations in automation industries, sorry, automotive industry. Next again, India have several initiatives development in the space of artificial intelligence, machine learning and robotics. The Ministry of Commerce and Industries in India plans to stimulate the use of robot towards Indian trade and industry transformation. So it plays a vital role. Further, 2018 financial statement which was given by the government intention towards investing more in research activities related to artificial intelligence, robotics and automation, which should be incorporated in industries. Government of India and also been funding many projects by educational institutions in areas of computing and wireless sensor networks for real-time landslides monitoring, etc. These kind of fundings include the procurement of sensors and building the perpetual concepts of robots. Now, coming to the relevance of robotics in different industries, robots can be used in manufacturing and supply chain management, as I mentioned earlier. Manufacturing industries are transforming themselves towards digitization and developing their supply chain activity through IoT. As I said, robotics are very much important in assembly lines and supply chain, as they are very repetitive tasks and it can it can reduce the manufacturing lead time. So robotics in manufacturing and supply chain are very crucial. And public health and safety, the Indian healthcare sector is already in pressure due to high population. As we can see, India is very much densely populated. It requires large number of medical cares, hospitals, physicians, and career professionals. As a result, an outsized segment of people is underprivileged position even for getting a primary healthcare services. As I mentioned, uh, if cheap labor is used to produce these kinds of medical equipments and medical gears, it will take a lot of time, and no one can ensure a 100% accuracy in those things. So robots in public health and safety plays a vital role. It can create some I mean to say that the any underprivileged people can get primary healthcare services if robots and automation takes over industries of public health and safety. Then coming to agro-business, agriculture and its allied sectors such as forestry and fisheries accounted for over 13% of Indian GDP, that is the fact, and over 50% workforce is in agriculture industries. Inadequate demand prediction, lack of assured irrigation, soil degradation, overuse of pesticides and fertilizers, availability of capital for farmers, and these are many problems that are faced by agricultural industries. By involving this kind of automation and robotics in agricultural based industries can surely upgrade the industry, and also it can overcome many problems that are quoted here. Then coming in defense and national security, robots find application in field of defense and security. It can be leveraged to protect economic sectors and infrastructure such as airports, power plants that are vulnerable to attacks. The robot can reach the space where humans are terrified to reach. In case of any national emergencies or some kind of things where humans can risk their lives, robots can do it without any human interference, only by remotely controlling the robots. Coming to the energy sector, for public sector entities such as large energy power and utility companies, artificial intelligence and machine learning hold high potential in areas of smart metering, real-time information. All these things, uh, all these things provide greater efficiency towards energy sector and also improve the storage capabilities. And machine learning and artificial intelligence can also be used in banking and financial services. However, their potential has not yet been fully tapped by India. Next, coming to the trends in industrial robots. What are the different trends uh, that are in the society of industrial robotics? That are usability. The automotive industries has had long history of using robots, but for industries that are relatively new to automation are facing some challenges to incorporate robots because there has their own ways of doing everything. So it would face them a difficulty to uh, incorporate the robots in their industries. Human robot collaboration, basically we can call it human robot collaboration as cobots. The robot mimics the motion of humans or It interacts with the humans physically while doing the task. Close collaboration between humans and robots, which is called as human robot collaboration, working as colleagues on assembly lines, as I said, and in other applications, will be a large part of future industrial robotics. Improved sensing technical challenge with robot application involves the tools that allow robots to interact with the world around them, including advanced sensing and advanced scripting. Next, coming to remote monitoring, futuristic companies that depend on robots will be such that they manage the robot and the teams that they rely on them on any device, anywhere with internet connection. We can sense what is happening 1,000 kilometers away just by having a sensor placed at that region of country. So coming to the conclusion, today industrial robots and robotic systems are key components of automation. More than 1.1 million industrial robots are operating in the factories all over the world. So some of the important conclusive points I would like to make here is improving quality of work for employees. In the sense, automation always helps in improving the quality of the work for employees, safety, and obviously it increases the production output rates, giving more accurate results, improving product quality and consistency, obviously increasing flexibility in product manufacturing. You can operate robotic and automation sectors any time of the day. It is not like it is tired after 10 o'clock in the night. It has subject availability 24 hours in a day, and also reducing operation cost. Last statement I would like to make is, in addition, robots work long hours and handle heavy objects without getting tired or making mistakes. It is one of the main advantage of robotics and machine learning, which leads to improved quality. These are the references. Thank you.